Every year, the ice remembers how to break. Every year, something is waiting for it to happen. This is the moment before the moving season begins. Before the valley wakes, the high ground already knows the season has turned. Nothing here is given. Every path is earned, one careful step at a time. Even camouflage must change with the world around it. Camouflage is not hiding. It is becoming part of the ground itself. From high enough, even a mountain is only a resting place. The smallest lives wake first, and the mountain listens for them. Hunger is the first proof that winter is truly ending. Even before the valley is fully awake, the next generation has already begun. High above the thaw, the season's first promise
is already being kept warm. Where the ice was, water now carries its own kind of life.
By evening, the mountain has already changed more than it will admit. Tonight, the cold will return, but it no longer owns this mountain.
Winter still holds the peaks, but the water is already running toward the forest, and everything the forest needs to wake. The river carries the mountain's thaw straight into the heart of the forest. Above the water, a different kind of current moves through the trees.
The river feeds more than the fish that swim in it.
Every season carries its own beginnings, arriving on its own schedule. Nothing in this forest wakes all at once. It wakes in layers, from the water upward. Learning to belong to the river takes more than one season of trying. Some lives shape the river as much as the river shapes them. Even in the last light, the river keeps moving, and something Further in, the trees remember more winters than the river does. Even play is practice for a life that will not always be gentle.
What looks like chaos to us is simply another kind of ease to something built for it.
A small voice in a very large forest is still a voice worth hearing. From here, the light changes. This part of the forest keeps its own time. The river has led us as far as light can easily follow. What comes next belongs to the shadows themselves.
In a forest this old, patience is not a virtue. It is simply how things survive.
Even the smallest movements here carry purpose. Nothing wastes the little light that reaches this deep. The same animal moves differently in every place it belongs. Even in the deepest shadow, something is always just beginning. Watching over the smallest lives requires all the patience the forest has taught. Some of this forest's oldest residents are only ever seen once the light has nearly gone. Even the oldest darkness eventually gives way to morning. Presence, more than anything else, is what young lives need first. Not every life is meant to leave the forest. Some simply keep it alive. Every forest eventually opens onto something else. This one opens onto water and sky. The forest kept its secrets in shadow. What waits ahead keeps nothing hidden at all. They have been flying for weeks to reach exactly this water.
Not every arrival here comes from the sky.
A single arrival becomes 100 within a single afternoon.
Some of the oldest travelers in the sky are also the most patient on the ground.
Every dance here is also an announcement. The season has truly arrived. The wetland does not wait for anything, so nothing here waits to grow.
Even in open water, there is always a shape built for protection. A gathering this bright is never accidental. It is the entire point. Some arrivals here are so quiet, the water barely notices them. Tonight, the wetland holds more life than it did yesterday, and it will hold more again tomorrow. Some of these travelers only pause here. Their real destination lies further still. The birds carried the season this far. From here, the land itself takes over. The wetlands filled the sky with wings. Ahead, the tundra fills the horizon with distance itself. Out here, distance itself becomes part of the weather. By the time the tundra is fully open, its newest lives are already testing it. Stillness here is never rest. It is always watching.
Even flight here stays close to the ground. There is too much to watch to fly high.
Nothing on this ground survives by standing alone. On ground this open, even stillness needs somewhere to disappear. A few days of open ground can change how a young life moves entirely. The tundra keeps its youngest lives low to the ground, where the wind cannot find them as easily. Here, the days no longer end the way they once did. Some nights this far north simply refuse to happen. Across the living tundra, the light has grown stronger with every step. Now, it will refuse to leave at all. Some travelers have come further than anything else in this story. This bird has followed the sun from one end of the earth to the other. Even under a sun that never sets, some lives are only just beginning to see it. There is no evening here to call them inside. There is only more light to grow into. Even under constant light, some lives choose to remain almost invisible. The water here has learned to hold two suns at once, one real, one reflected, both equally bright. By the time the light finally changes, this entire season will already belong to the past. Every young life here is measured in how far it dares to follow.
Even a sun that refuses to set must eventually meet the water. The midnight sun has carried this journey as far as land will go. From here, the ocean decides what happens next. The land runs out here. Everything after this belongs to the water.
A colony this size is not chaos. It is simply thousands of individual lives, arranged with precision.
Precision like this takes an entire lifetime spent above open water. On land, this body seems built wrong. In water, it is nearly perfect. Out here, size alone does not explain why the water seems to organize itself around this animal. Beneath all this noise and motion, the quietest lives are still underground, waiting to grow into it. Even here, where the water can seem endless, everything young still needs something solid to lean against. Where the ocean finally allows it, something gentler begins just beyond the shore. Where the ocean ends, a brief and gentler season begins, one built for learning, not just surviving. In a season this short, every young life has to learn quickly. Learning here rarely happens alone. It happens beside something older. Somewhere between one season and the next, uncertain
becomes capable. Even the pack's hunters must first learn everything through play. A family this size does not simply protect its young. It teaches them, one careful walk at a time. In a valley this brief and this generous, even natural rivals can share the same afternoon. By the time the light fades here, every young life in this valley has grown a little more capable than it was that morning. Every young life in this valley has learned what it needed to. Now, the land itself has one more lesson left to teach. The forest that once hid everything in shadow now hides itself, briefly, in gold. Nothing that tumbled through that shadow so clumsily still moves that way now. Every gathered nut here is a small bet placed against the coming cold. This is the season for eating as if the next one has already arrived. Even a coat can change faster than the season asks it to. Soon this one will cross rivers like this completely on her own. Above the color, the sky has already started making its own decisions about the season. This is the last color the forest will show this year, and it knows exactly how briefly it will last. The forest is still gold. But something colder has just introduced itself. The golden season has reached its final edge. What comes next has been waiting patiently the entire time. Winter does not arrive all at once. It simply stops leaving. Everything in this story has been circling back toward this exact shape on the horizon. The water that once carried the whole season forward is finally slowing down to rest. A full year has passed across this one face, and it shows almost nothing of the distance traveled. The same white it wore at the beginning of this story is already returning to claim it again. None of them are finishing anything. They are simply continuing the way they always have. The land keeps no permanent record of who passed through it. Only the passing itself ever really mattered. The journey has returned to where it began. But nothing that lived through it is quite the same as when it started. The first snow is not an ending. It is simply where this particular telling of the story chooses to rest.